Welcome to Selectory, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the 10 best sci-fi movies on Netflix. Science fiction movies are a great way to spend your time. We try to include both well-known movies like The Endless and I Am Mother, as well as those that get good reviews on aggregation sites like Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes. We like to think of these movies as thought-provoking and entertaining. The one commonality is that all explore the intersection of humanity and technology in a fresh and interesting way. Number 10, The Endless. Making a movie can be expensive and difficult, which is why it's important to have a good idea and the right cast. However, if you're up for the challenge, you can make a compelling and captivating film without a lot of money. The Endless is proof of that. The filmmaking team of Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead, who specialize in their own meta-horror stories, have created a movie that plays with our senses. The film explores the time, space, and reality as well as unimaginable terror, but leaves the details for our imagination to fill in. The art of film is not only about the story that is told. It is also about how it is conveyed. This movie's restrained yet intelligent approach to filmmaking may seem unusual for most, but it conveys the story in an uncommonly intelligent way. It's the unexplained implications and shocking effects of the story that really make it so powerful, as well as the focus on the characters' personal struggles and desires. These brothers are searching for a place they can call home, no matter what it's like. It could be a cult compound full of psychologically destructive manipulators, or an intergalactic prison, torture compound, or zoo. As long as they know their way around and are surrounded by people they know and love, they'll be happy. Number 9, Midnight Special. The Midnight Special is unlike anything you've seen before. Jeff Nichols has created a hybrid story of parental love in this film. Saving any child is a tremendous undertaking, but the boy in question is different. Alton sometimes emits light from his eyes, and starts speaking in perfect time with a radio station that isn't turned on. He is somehow able to intercept military satellite transmissions. This of course makes the government very stressed out. Nichols seduces the audience with a puzzling mystery and Midnight Special. However, it is far less important compared to the relationships he masterfully weaves. It's a chase film where the chase is not a central theme of the movie. There are many moments of awe and wonder at Alton's abilities, but we're constantly reminded of the toll these abilities have on the boy and those around him. The movie depicts one of the most difficult parts of life, where people are constantly faced with tough decisions. It is about whether you're willing to give your life for what is right. It's about accepting both the good and bad that comes with your decision. Number 8, I Am Mother. Even when the world is on its way to extinction, some things about humanity will never change, like the complex journey of coming of age. It is a difficult time for anyone, but it has to be even more so for an unnamed girl, who is raised in a doomsday bunker by an android called Mother. Despite never having had the opportunity to meet other teens, she still follows the common coming-of-age path of recklessness and rebellion. In order to know who we might become, we must first question all that we believe and know. And in I Am Mother, a young girl called Daughter will challenge the only world that she knows. As she struggles to understand it, she will change the future of humanity. Despite its sci-fi flourishes, it's relatable to any person of any age. The slow pacing and chamber play style create an intimate and tense atmosphere in this film, which supports the lead characters as they reveal their complicated and interconnected portrayals. Daughter could have been a wide-eyed fool in wrong hands, but regard bruised beneath her naivete of volatile passion. This gives her character a vibrancy and complexity that is rather special. Though the third act feels a bit rushed and incomplete, I Am Mother is overall a compelling and lean science fiction thriller that's nonetheless full of insight and heart. Number 7, Real Steel. Inspired by the short story Steel, Real Steel tells an emotional father-son story. The high-concept premise is robot boxing, but the execution is better than you might expect, and it doesn't play out as ludicrous. Set in a not-too-distant future, this movie follows a tough guy named Charlie Kenton. He used to be a boxer, but human boxing was banned in favor of giving audiences the deathly carnage that only a robot could provide. Now he manages a has-been robot boxer on the county fair circuit, while taking out a loan from a shady person. He's been in debt to this rival of his for a long time, played by Kevin Durand. The fight scenes with the giant robots were well done. And one of the smart decisions of this film is how they limit what the robots can do. They cannot talk and are remotely controlled by human pilots, meaning that they are essentially giant toys. This movie captures the essence of what it means to be human. Here we have a future life that is at once familiar and different. There are sweet characters and moments of robot fighting, as well as some poignant scenes about love and family. Number 6, Snowpiercer. For all the comic book fans out there, Snowpiercer is not something you should miss. This is one of the best comic book adaptations that you don't even realize in the first place. Acclaimed South Korean director, Bong Joon-ho, made his English language debut with this film. It follows a group of survivors as they try to find their way through a frozen wasteland, aboard an eternally moving train. The film is set in a post-apocalyptic world, and in this dreadful future, the divide between classes is still alive and well. The film focuses a lot on contrasting the squalor of the cars at the back of the train, with the luxurious, decadent quality of the people in first class. In every way, Snowpiercer is different from any other Hollywood film. It's brutal, emotionally vulnerable, and beautiful. The effects may not be perfect in comparison to the latest superhero movie, but there's no denying the film's glossy charm. Snowpiercer is an action-packed, sci-fi masterpiece. With thoughtful storytelling, geeky details, and a knockout performance by Chris Evans, this film is definitely worth seeing. Number 5. Cloud Atlas. The unconventional, complex, and ballsy film Cloud Atlas takes you on a journey through varied time periods. It defies what we're used to seeing in the movie industry. Trying something new, this film pulls themes from different eras, and places them together to show us the commonalities of humanity. Cloud Atlas has 6 major storylines to follow, all with themes that have been mirrored in one another thematically. All the stories are cross-cut together, jumping back and forth between different time periods that range from the 19th century, to the distant post-apocalyptic future. To complicate matters, all of the stories in the anthology feature the same handful of actors with multiple roles. Through costume and makeup, these performers cross barriers of age, gender, and race. Some of the connections in this movie are not always obvious, but they are there. The central message is that we are all connected, from before birth to after death. Our lives are not our own. Through action, consequence, and relationships, we influence, connect, and affect one another. It's also about freedom, and the idea of what it means to be free is explored in many different contexts. Number 4, E.T. the Extra Terrestrial. This movie gave us so much hope and made our hearts so happy. It is filled with innocence, good cheer, and humor. It's also exciting as hell and as wicked as can be. E.T. the Extra Terrestrial is a movie like The Wizard of Oz that can grow up with you. Whether you're a child or an adult, you'll have a great time. It tells the story of a little boy and his best friend, a creature from outer space. It's about how they spend time together, create memories, and accept one another. The strange friendship is what some people find difficult to understand. The movie is a combination of The Thing and National Velvet. It entertains as science fiction, it can be as scary as a monster movie, and at the end of the film, when the lights come back on, you're not likely to have any dry eyes. E.T. the Extra Terrestrial is a reminder of what movies are for, to make us think, to make us feel, to take us away from our problems, and to help us examine them. Few movies do all of these things, but E.T. is it in some measure. If you're one of the many Stranger Things superfans who hasn't watched the film that inspired the show, now is absolutely your time. Number 3, Jurassic Park. Steven Spielberg has made a blockbuster with mind-blowing effects. He has taken his techniques of monster movies and combined them with family-friendly ones, producing a jaw-dropping experience. With a team of incredible technicians, many of whom have created high-quality work before in such movies as Star Wars and Terminator 2, Spielberg has brought the highest levels of science fiction to this human story. Jurassic Park is a classic sci-fi movie with a timeless theme, the consequences of tampering with the forces of creation. John Hammond, the rich man at the center of the controversy, is wildly arrogant and has a tendency to meddle with things he doesn't understand. Hammond's team of scientists have created dinosaurs by cloning DNA from thousands of years ago. He's constructed a dinosaur-themed park with every convenience imaginable, and he's made sure to include precautions for all types of people to enjoy the park. Steven Spielberg is one of the most famous directors in history with a long list of famous works. The 1993 original, Jurassic Park, is among the best. The film's thrilling set pieces and special effects have held up incredibly well, even after being released almost 30 years ago. Number 2, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. As no one would argue, Cameron's sequel to his already beloved movie, Terminator, was an incredible movie. This follow-up to the science fiction hybrid was perfect because it combined eye-popping CGI effects, intense action, and expert storytelling. It's been a few years since the events of Terminator, in which a robot from the future was sent back to kill Sarah Connor before she could give birth to John Connor, the future leader of the human resistance. Now the machines are trying again. They're bringing a new model to the table, The T-1000, played by Robert Patrick. It's a liquid metal predator that's more advanced than the last version. But humans fight back with another Terminator of their own that's played by Schwarzenegger. Programmed to protect John Connor, who is now an adolescent. This time the Terminator also tries to stop the chain of events that lead up to Judgment Day. As the saying goes, there is no fate but what we make ourselves. The Terminator 2 is not only one of the best sequels of all time, but one of the greatest action sci-fi movies ever made. It's also a movie that holds up for its time remarkably well, and even for today's standards. We encourage you to go back and watch it if you haven't seen it lately. You'll be surprised how much you'll enjoy it the second time around. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 1, Inception. We all know that stories can be ruined by knowing how it ends, but this movie is immune to spoilers. The ending is often the most intriguing part of a film, but this one can't be spoiled because it doesn't give away anything until it reaches the end. The way it gets there is too confusing to spoil. The film takes us on a journey through reality and dreams, waking life in dreams, and the dream world without reality. One of the most puzzling aspects of dreams is time. The hero explains that you can never be sure what the relationship is between dream time and real time. When you're in a dream, time goes by quickly and it's tough to remember where you started. That said, dreams can be so vivid and detailed that they seem to last for hours even when they only take a few minutes. Yes, but you don't know for sure if you're dreaming. What if you're inside someone else's dream? How does your time in that dream sync up with theirs? How much do you really know? It's said that Christopher Nolan spent 10 years working on his screenplay for Inception. That's an incredible accomplishment, like walking a tight wire while playing chess blindfolded. The film's protagonist tests a young architect by challenging her to create a maze. The architect must make sure that the maze is not too easy or too hard, but just right. Christian Nolan tests his audience by challenging our minds with his own dazzling maze. Inception is a breathtaking achievement in filmmaking and a movie-going experience you won't want to miss. Be sure to check out this video here on Selectory, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.